Hello, friends. Happy Monday. Hello from Happy Paper People. I'm Marianne, and with me today is Jen and Dawn Marie.
Hi, everyone.
And we are very excited today to show you some new techniques and play on the gel plates. Hey, KK, first one here. Hello, Glynis. Good to see you. Hi, Sarah. Uh-oh, Margie not awake yet? She's not the first one here. Uh-oh, what happened? All right, hang on. I'm just getting my paper situated a little bit better here so I can tell my different types of paper one from another. As I grab them, I can grab the correct one. So how's everybody doing today? It's Monday. I love Mondays. I love Mondays.
It's Monday and there's no work. That's why Jen's here. Yay!
Oh, that's right. We like to whenever we can. And yeah, Monday holiday means she has the day off. And you get the day off today? KK, did you get the day off? I can't remember if you're working
Sarah.
Working at a job.
Yeah.
Sarah's probably been in there already creating today, already doing all kinds of stuff. She usually has something completely done by the time we go live. Creations. Hi, Sada. Margie is out looking for my gel plate, Sylvia says. Oh, Sylvia. So good to see you.
Hi, Sada.
And I hope you find it soon.
KK's retired.
Yay for you. Yay. I need to retire so I can spend all my time with you guys playing. Hi, Sada. Good to see you as well. Oh, Sylvia, I'm trying to kill a few minutes for you to find your gel plate. Actually, I need to do a couple pulls just to warm up the gel plate. It's kind of cold. Warm it up and to pull some of this grunge on that was been there previously. So, and we're going to want some, not today. We're going to want some backgrounds anyway. So if you guys want to like pick two colors, a soft pink and a white, things that'll make a light background, maybe a really soft orange or yellow, or just something that'll make a couple of light backgrounds. As I'm looking around,
Sarah.
Grab.
I was thinking of doing that too. I have one that I'm thinking of selling.
It's almost enough to completely pay for retreat. Yay, Sarah, that's awesome. Oh, I know that relieves some stress, helps feel better. I'm so excited that you're coming. I am so excited. I'm just looking here I got all this paint here, and all of a sudden I can't find something light. Where did all my light books go? Got white. There's something. I just want a couple of really light backgrounds, and I want to kind of pick up some of this grunge that's on here, which probably and I haven't used this plate in a while, so it is cold. Need to get it warmed up. So I'm using the Great Big Giant plate today. I was hoping that would help you be able to see it a little bit better, as well as I'm going to use some 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. And so I thought, why not use the big, I think it's 12 by 16, actually. So even the 12 by 12.
I think mine is 12 by 12.
There is a 12 by 12, and I kind of think I'd rather have that one because it would fit those 12 by 12 papers.
Yeah, really? This one's 12 by 12. This was the one that my mother and father-in-law got me like one Christmas that I never used until I went to retreat.
Oh, that's awesome. The 12 by 16 is just, look at that. I already stuck my arms in it because this is so big. Oh,
look, hair.
I know. Already
there's hair on it. It's mine.
Already there's hair, and already I've stuck my arm in it. There we go. We're starting off great there. Oh, KK, you have a 12 by 12 you've never used? Cool. We have a technique for you today, KK, that you might find a reason to pull that 12 by 12 out. Are you playing along with us today, KK, or are you watching to see if you want to do it later?
Hi, Susan or Sue.
Hey, Sue.
Ooh, I love all the little divots in these.
Oh, ooh, yeah. Sue got the day off too.
Yay!
So technically, it's when you get all these grungies on the edge of the plate. Some people clean off their plate every time they use it. I don't. I like
Not
those grungies as they build up and get onto other pages. So if I want to completely clean my plate, then I will put a layer of paint on it, and a fairly generous layer, not super, super thin like we always do. And I will put the paper down and leave it overnight. Leave it overnight, because when you pick it up, those grungies are either going to stick to the plate or they're going to stick to your paper. So you have to leave the paper there long enough that it completely dries and it chooses to stick to the paper instead of the plate. I was going to use the smaller plate, and so I cleaned that one last night, and it's nice and clean. And then last minute, I decided to use this large one. I love these little grungy pieces that we get like that. Get the buildup of all the different colors. Those are really awesome on collage.
I have some on the edge.
Yeah, this stuff on the edge, that's not going to come up with me doing this. That will only come up if I put a good layer of paint on that, put the paper down, and let it sit overnight. And I may do that after we're all done. It doesn't even have time to dry here with this, but we still get some cool grunge. And this is a nice neutral that I can use as a background
Look
today.
at those little grungies.
Oh, those are cool. Under the pile. Sue, where did you put my gel plate? Oh, Sylvia, it's over there on the shelf, and you set something on top of it.
That's probably exactly the truth.
I think so. I think it is. So we're going to start out here by just pulling a couple of backgrounds. So we have a few backgrounds to work with because we need the backgrounds with our technique. And there are actually the first technique we're going to show you, there's actually a couple of different ways to do the same technique, and we'll show you both. And the first one is starting out with some nice backgrounds, just not too busy backgrounds, maybe 2 colors, put on, mix up a bit. But I got to thinking, as I do from time to time, late one night, too tired to do anything. I'm using this small one over here. I'm just going to use it as my brayer off one, and I'll stop and pick that up every now and then. I got to thinking that, we transfer images, like we take images from magazines and book pages and transfer those pictures onto the gel plate and get them onto the piece of paper. So why couldn't we transfer some of the designs from scrapbook paper? Yes, acrylic paints. We are using acrylic paints. We are not using expensive acrylic paints. Between us all, we've got Americana, we've got Apple Barrel. I've got a bunch of Stamperia.
And mine is over 20 years old.
I've got a couple Liquitex bright colors sitting over there. I may or may not use. No expensive paints. I say cheap, because they're less expensive than the really nice artist grade. But any inexpensive acrylic paint works great on the gel plate. That's one thing I love about it. It does not require expensive paint. And you can also use many different products on the gel plate. But for these types of techniques, we are going to just stick with acrylic paint. So yeah, so I got to thinking, well, if we put down an image from a magazine or something, why can't we put down an image from scrapbook paper? Now you see how when I pulled this up, this is tearing right here. The reason it's tearing is because it hasn't had time to dry. You know, this is really quick. And so I want to leave that and go over to another section and start pulling. And I roll it back. That helps to prevent that tearing. But if I can do that and get over there, then that piece of paper stays right on it. And I can push it back down or glue it down if I need to. See, there it is. And there's the torn piece right here. I need to go big for a minute, let me know, but I think we're okay. I can just put a job of glue under that and put that down and save that right there. But that's because it hasn't had time to dry before I'm pulling it up. And that's kind of the way it is on a live. There isn't time. When we're not on a live, then it's really nice to have two gel plates side by side. That's really cool, Jen. The one gel plate, they don't have to be the same size even, but if you have two that you can work on, you can be working on one while the other is drying and back and forth. So, all right, so let's show you this cool technique. This will work with, let me grab some paper here. Any scrapbook paper that has texture. Now, hear what I mean with texture. This has texture because it has foil, and the foil and the paper are different. There's not a whole bunch of raised on here, but I can feel the difference between the foil and the plain paper. That will work. The foil works great. Same thing here. The back is regular paper. These are foils, so there is a slight difference in them. That texture will work. Let me get back here. Okay, I am going to sacrifice some of my black and white handmade paper from those really cool packs because there was some awesome embossed pages. This is embossed texture, will be perfect. There's some snowflakes in glitter, which are raised. I can feel that texture. There's some polka dots in glitter, so that's a texture. This is embossed in a woven pattern. Now, let's see. How are we going to, there we go. You can see that on the side there, maybe. Yeah, so it is a weave, and that's embossed in. That's a texture. I can feel it. It will work. There's some embossed flowers. That will work. Some more foil. Okay, here's a piece of canvas. I can feel the texture of the canvas. Cork has a texture. Not as much. Not as big a texture. And trying to get a hold of it. It's kind of small. Corrugate. This is corrugate. And it came in a paper pack, so it's polka dots. But you can see the raised edge there. So you can see that that will have a texture because that is corrugate. So that'll work. So you need scrapbook paper with texture or foiling, I guess is a good way to put that. All right. So let's start with this one. You can see the foiling on there. So I'm going to take my plain plate. I'm going to, I've got a couple of just backgrounds of things that I had done previously. I didn't get a chance to go through all of my gel prints, but a lot of times you go through gel prints and you know they're not done, they're not complete. Anything that you would use, it needs more, but you don't know what to do with it. Just those that are just kind of background or just, you know, brayering off or pulling stuff up. Those are kind of perfect kind to use for this. It's a background. We're going to give it a focal point. So I'm going to take some paint that I will just start with this. I'm going to do a black so that you can see it quite well. I'm going to get the crusties off the top first, off my gel plate. Otherwise, they just fall right into the gel plate, onto the gel plate, and I don't like that. Give it a good shake. And I think there's a little crusty right there in the top that's not coming off. They fall onto the gel plate. Well, it'll just add more texture if they do. So, okay. And it's been a while since I used this big one. We'll see if I put enough down. If I didn't, I can always get more. I tend to be heavy-handed, so I'm trying to learn to go less paint because I can't add more. It's more difficult to take it off to get the exact right amount. Okay, so I've got black here, and I want a fairly thin layer. So I can see just a little bit too much here and there. So I can run through that and pull some of that off and just put it on my brayer off. Okay, now I'm going to take my texture paper. I should probably, hey Dawn, good to see you. I'm going to go full screen for this. So I just put some black paint down. I'm going to adjust my camera just a bit so you see that one full. Okay, and now I'm taking my textured paper. This is textured because it has foil on it, which is different than the paper. And I'm going to set the foiled paper down on this, face down, and I'm going to gently press it on. This doesn't need a big heavy press. Just gently press it down. Rub it around to make sure that the only thing I want to make sure is that every part of the paper makes contact. So it doesn't need a big heavy press. It just needs to make contact everywhere. You could use a Baron. You could use a brayer. You could use your hand. Okay, and now I'm going to peel. I hope I didn't have too much paint on there for that. I'm going to peel up my page. And I'm going to take a background and put it down on here. Probably should have done it with something other than black. I wanted you to be able to see it, but now I'm going to cover up a lot of that peak background. Okay, and I'm pressing that down just gently. Again, I just want to make sure that all parts of the paper make contact. Sometimes they dry a little bit wrinkly because they're wet from paint. Now, honestly, this would be a good time to just leave it for a couple minutes and let it dry, because the sooner I pull it up and it hasn't had a chance to dry, the more it's going to tear. And I can feel the dampness. I can feel that it's wet. And it's hard when doing it live because you don't really have time to wait to let it dry. All right, that didn't work at all. Well, let's let the first one not work. That's great.
That's how it always happens.
Worse, right?
Mm.
Okay.
Just blame it on the plate.
A little bit.
Blame it on the plate.
All right, so what happened here then is the black goes around, and where the foil was the flowers. So where the foil was, the foil does not hold the paint. And so the pink came through where the foil was. So pink flowers on the black. So yeah, it worked. It's just that just wasn't very clean. Now you can use this again, but it's going to get less and less clear every time you use it, unless you take a baby wipe, which you can do, and wipe this off. I think I had too much paint. I think that's maybe the cause. If you wipe this off the foil, or at least mostly off the foil, you can use this page again. And that foil will continue to work because you're not actually wiping off the foil. Now, what you may be able to see is I can see flowers on the gel plate. So I know that I can get a ghost print here. So I'm going to just pick that up with plain paper and see if I can get a ghost print of that before I go to the next one. You know, you always hope the very first one works perfectly so everybody can see how the technique works when it works. However, that's why I always do this live with you guys, because if it doesn't work perfectly the first time you do it, then you feel like you did something wrong. And I always want you to know that it doesn't always work perfectly the first time. So don't feel bad about it. And I don't think it was you. Give yourself a break, a chance to try it again.
see.
I happened to be on video, or we were having a video chat with Jan while we were chatting. I was trying this technique out for today and got some pretty cool prints, huh, Jen?
Yeah, it looked really neat.
Let's see if we can get us some little flowers here in a ghost print. I can still see them there.
That was after after the workshop was over and I was still working on my box.
Yeah, we still hung out at the workshop because she and I were still working away. I don't know if you'll be able to see them on camera, but we do have little flowers in a ghost print. So we'll set that aside. That one's kind of cool. Nice little flowers in a ghost print. Okay, so let's take a different. Let's see here.
Do you have a color that's not black that's still kind of dark?
Yeah, I'm just thinking that I'm going to use an embossed piece this time, and I might have to make more backgrounds, but I'm going to look for okay. Let's see. Let's try a metallic. Why not? Why not? And after you do it a few times, you'll get a feel for how much paint is the right amount of paint and how much paint is too much. I knew I had too much on the black one. I thought I took enough off, but apparently didn't. Okay, so let's take this piece of embossed paper and put that down. Just gently rub that in. After getting 10 or 20 really great prints the other day, I better get some good prints here, Jen. If it doesn't work on camera, I will not at least I have a witness that it worked.
Well, don't you still have the prints from the last time you could show?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is that one. Let's see. The gold should show up on this teal pretty nicely. Oh, let's see here. So remember I said there's two different ways that you can do it. Let's do this little strip here in the other way. So we've got our gold. I know you can't see them, but we've got the gold flowers over here that we took off of this embossed piece. And I want to make sure that they're dry. Kind of, sort of. Could use another couple of seconds. But then we can put a background color on that and pick that up with a piece of paper. So let's see if those are gold. They should be metallic. They're super thin though, so we want something that they'll show up on. Should be any dark color they would show up on. There's a dark gray. Let's try the dark gray. Why not? Okay. So then we're taking a fresh piece of paper with nothing on it. We're creating a background with the dark gray, where this one already had a background, and all we want to do is lift those gold flowers on top of the background. It's pretty wet, so hoping that they'll peel okay. Not tear the paper. Get impatient, and it's hard on a live to let them dry enough.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Check that out.
Oh,
Those gold flowers transferred perfectly. You know, it's hard on the camera because they're metallic, gold metallic paint. But
ooh,
there you can see a couple flowers right there. They all transferred perfectly. So with this teal, oh, here it's lighter over here. Maybe that'll show. I know. I'll use something other than metallic. Camera does not like metallic. With the teal background and all the splotches, and then we've got the cool gold flowers showing up. It really looks layered, and that looks really neat. And that was the same flower, the flowers from this embossed piece. So I can use this embossed piece over again. That gold has dried. So let's see what we've got with this piece that we put gray over it, just to pick up a little tiny bit. So the gray would become the background. Oh, wow. That's cool. Can you see the gray?
ooh, that is pretty.
Or
That is
the
really-
gray, the gold. That went really cool. The gold on the gray. There it is. Yeah, that looks really cool. So a whole sheet of that, and you could do any color you just want. I wouldn't use a yellow or an orange or a brown because the gold is metallic is not going to show up as well, but any dark color that's going to give you the contrast of the gold metallic on that. And so let's try a few more. Let's try a variety of things. All I did was go through my stash and pull out a stack full of papers that had foil on them that I hadn't used or had texture on them. So let's see. I've got this background. So we do need something dark on that. Well, you know what? This might be a good one for black because it's 50-50. I want to try it. Black or a dark gray. I'm going to try the black. I want to see that contrast. Just maybe not quite as much paint. Hey, Tara. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Oh, cool. Time with grandson. Sylvia found her gel plate and found gel
Use
plate.
wallpaper. Wallpaper is amazing.
Yes, wallpaper is awesome. Textured wallpaper. Anything that is raised, that is embossed, that is textured. Now, I'm using these 12 by 12 prints because that's originally what I thought of, not prints, scrapbook papers, because I knew I had a bunch of foiled scrapbook papers that I really didn't have a plan for. And so great way to use them, but get them on colors that I will use or paper that I can tear up for collage. And if you don't have those or you run through all of those, then you can take paper and emboss it. I would do a cardstock, emboss it in your embossing machine. You can take any of your embossing folders, get a nice, good embossed print, and then you can use that. And just like the flowers we just did, that raised portion will come off on here. Okay, so what should happen here, this has got a chevron pattern, and every other one is foiled, and the other one is just the paper. So the paper should pull up the paint, and the foil should resist the paint. So where the foil is, there should be left on my gel plate a black chevron pattern. Hope it's had enough time. Oh, yeah. Along with some grunge. And I don't clean it between. I like the layers of grunge. Okay, you can see that, I'm sure, very clearly on the plate. Okay. Now, it is almost dry. It is almost dry. And if I put the paper down, I'm afraid that it's not going to pick it up because it is so dry. I could test it with something that I already did. I already did a portion of, so let's do that. Let's just test and see if it will actually work.
Beautiful.
Because it's already what?
I said this is beautiful.
Cool. Hang on, I'm going to go back to 3 so they can see what you guys are doing as well. But I could hear it. This was a nice thin layer, which is perfect to leave that pattern, but then it also dries really fast. And so I'm afraid that it might be too dry to pull up. So we're going to test it with this, and then I'll show you. Yep, look at that. I got just a tiny bit of ghost there, but not much at all. And it's still here really, really well. So either I put another color on it that becomes the background, and I use plain paper so that I can create something new with background, and or I need to put something clear on it that won't transfer color. So if I put it on my paper, all I see still is the black background. Now I have a Vicky Bouton matte acrylic gel medium that I use for that. And maybe I'll do this half and half so that you can see. Let's try, let's just do this light pink on this portion. Ooh, got a lot there. Right there. How wide is that? About that.
Makeup.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like makeup.
Yeah.
You can also pull from the paper too. Put
Yes.
blank paper down and pull from the paper.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to give it a background, and then I'm going to put blank paper down. And when I pull this, it'll have black background and the black chevron, because the chevron is too dry just to pull up itself. So this is plain paper. I should have put that. I didn't realize I wasn't covering that whole thing. Okay, but on this portion, I'm going to, let me get that all rubbed in real nicely and let it sit and dry and pick it up. I'm going to use some of this matte acrylic gel medium. I left the bottle open overnight. So it's not dried up, I know. Oh, that was a little dry coming out first. So hopefully there's not a big old chunky clog right there. All right, so this is just a clear acrylic gel medium. And I want to use that to pull this. It's the black all over my brayer. And I'll take this pink and put it all the way up to the top. Because I already have pink on the paper, I want to keep the pink as the background and get that black chevron on it. So I need something to use as the transfer that will pull the black up, but I don't want another color that will go over the pink. All right, so Sylvia's working on hers now. Yay. All right, I'm going to go back to 3 here so you can see what they're doing as well. And we'll just work on this technique for a bit. We'll try canvas and burlap, foiled paper, textured paper, embossed. Let's do this so I can pull this one up. This one's been sitting longer.
So these little flowers are what I'm going to get ready to pull up right now.
Oh,
I
cool.
tried to wipe it off the paper, and actually this made the paper better with the ink, the paint that's on it.
Sometimes if you don't really care for the paper, then you add paint to it. You get something you like better.
Yeah.
Oh, look how well these chevrons are transferring. There's a good contrast between the black and pink. Oops, starting to tear. It didn't have time to dry. I'm going to go from the other end and see if I can get it without tear. Okay. And sometimes the other trick we can use is to turn the gel plate over and peel the gel plate off of the print instead of the print off of the gel plate. And sometimes it is easier to release. See that released? There we go. Okay, so there is our, this was the plain white piece of paper, and we had the black chevrons. Man, that almost looks like a flag. Look at that. Watch up here. Yeah. Little piece of torn. I can just glue that down. So we put the pink over the top of the black chevrons to use as our background. And we got that. Now look at all the cool grungies that got off the edge of that plate with that acrylic gel medium. All right. And now let's pull this one where we used the acrylic gel medium. That needs to dry better. That needs to dry longer. Oh, that looks cool. That looks very cool. That acrylic gel medium is not going to dry as fast, and it's going to need a little bit of time. So
love it.
I'm going to turn it back here and let it continue to dry. And I can use this right here. Oh,
it reminds me of that stamp that Tim Holtz has of the little pattern.
Hold it up. Oh yeah, that's cool. Love that. That's awesome. Okay.
And this was the thing, which actually looks better like this.
Yeah. Okay, so the gel medium needs much longer to dry. I'm just pulling it up way too fast, but you get the idea. See, we got part of them, but it's just not dry. Look how floppy the paper is because it's just wet. It just needs to dry. That's all. And I could put it down. In fact, I could probably put this half over it and still pick up some of that. Excuse me. Because a lot of that still has gel medium on it. So I'll put that down and let that sit for a bit and see what we can pick up even as a secondary print. All right. Meanwhile, let's go back here. So check this one out. It's got foil hexagons in a couple sizes. One connects and one doesn't. So let's see what we can do with that one. Color. Let's see what we've got. Oh, I only have a few more backgrounds sitting here, but I've got this one is pretty light. That'd be cool with hexagons on it. What would be a good contrast color with purple? A really dark purple would be pretty with that. With the light purple. Do I have a dark purple out? I don't know if I do. Okay, how about raspberry? Raspberry should be pretty with that purple. Okay. So we're going to put some raspberry.
This is the paper that I'm going to use and put down.
Ooh, I like it.
I have more of this. I'm not destroying. This one's just.
Yeah.
I have 2 of
Pulled
these.
some really cool ones out that I have 2 of. I thought, okay, I can use one to get some cool gel prints.
Yep.
I'm not using them both. I still have the other one. Okay, so let's put this one down. We want that hexagon design. So who is gel plating along with us today? Dawn? I suspect Dawn is not. She likes to watch and then do it later. Sylvia is. Glynis, I suspect Glynis is. Sue, are you gel plating today? Sarah, oh, that's really pretty, Jen. That is cool. Where's the original paper that you put the design down from?
So here is the original paper.
Cool. Yeah. Love that. And you've got the whole other end that you can use for another one.
Yeah, and I used some white behind the green and then pulled up. Oh, I'm sorry, I used the copper behind the green, but then I pulled up some of the copper with some bubble wrap, and you can see.
Oh, yes. That's how you got the variation, a little bit of white there. That's cool.
Yeah, and I used the white behind that, so it's like bubbles would show
a lot. So she added texture with the bubble wrap in addition to getting the print. I know this is one that you go, oh, okay. And then after we leave, then you go, now, wait a minute. How did I transfer that foil? Or finishing up your shadow box. Awesome, Sue. Waiting for your pictures. Sarah, oh, you're trying too? Okay.
Here's the paper.
So what you want to try this a bunch of times on its own before getting into other, adding other things to it, like adding other texture, to make sure you have down the process of doing this. So I put down some raspberry, and then I put down my paper, my scrapbook paper with the texture, or this one had foil. And so you see the half that I foiled. And now I think it's going to be too dry to pull up. I think it is. That is the problem with getting a thin enough layer that is perfect for taking the imprint, but then it dries really quickly. So either I need to put down some matte gel medium. Thank you. Or I need to take a plain piece of paper and then put something down behind that raspberry to pick it up. I want something dark behind that raspberry. Oh, I see some of them didn't come out so great right here. These came out really nicely. So how about, purple and raspberry would be good. So that's what I was originally going to do, is put it on a purple page. So let's try a little bit of this purple. All right. So I don't want this to be too thick. If it's too thick, I'll pick up the purple, but it won't get the print underneath it that I want. When I put that down, I don't know, shows probably not, but I can see the hexagons underneath it. And I can see that this area got really nice, and then this area did not pick up the hexagons very well. I don't know if I failed to press that area down.
It came out really light.
Have time. You got the print, but super, super light.
Well, yeah. I did it because I did it from the paper to see if I could. I sprayed it with water to see if I could get something up from it.
From the paint, yeah. That didn't work for me either.
I was curious, and I figured I'd try.
I did try reusing this paper again and again. And it works again and again, but the print gets less and less as you go. But I found that right after doing it, if I took a baby wipe and wiped the majority of the paint off of the foiled area or the embossed area, that did work.
Actually, once again, I like the paint on it with the taking the paint off
that you're not crazy about anyway.
Yeah.
Then the paint might help it. Okay, so this was the second print off of the same gel medium. Now, this is what's interesting. Where it didn't hardly pick anything up, that's because there wasn't gel medium there, because it picked it up pretty well on the first pull. Same thing over here. Look how clearly it came off here. And I don't know if you can see it, but it even picked up gold flowers. There's a whole nother layer on there now of the gold flowers, because they will stay on ghost print on the. So I've got the gold flowers, the black hexagons, and then the pink multicolored background. So let's see how we do with this one. So whatever we do next, we'll get some black hexagons. I'm sorry, hexagon, some black chevrons in the background of that.
That looks like wallpaper.
Yeah, it does. That's cool.
It's got some shimmer and plain white in it.
There we go. Okay, so the raspberry is a dark color. It might have been shown better, more visible if I put a light color to pull it. But there's the hexagons that I did in raspberry. So that's a nice subtle background with those hexagons. Okay, so Let's see. Another, oh, I've got one that I'm dying to try. Although I don't want to put it over the top of those. Let's see. Here's another. Let's just do a polka dot. So this has polka dots, but only random ones are foiled. So the foiled ones should resist and stay down, and all the rest of it should get picked up. So
well, that didn't do
how anything. We do. And you know, and it's just fun to try and go, okay, will this work? Will that work?
Sarah says, I don't have texture paper, so I'm using embossed glycine bags that I've done when I pulled.
Okay, so the glassine bags are probably, if you're not having good results, it's because the glassine bags are too thin. They're too thin of material, of paper. So if you could emboss even a brown paper bag or a piece of cardstock, you could emboss a piece of cardstock, I think you'd have much better results. Something that when you put it down on here, it can feel some difference between the embossed part and the, you know, the raised part and the not raised part. When you put the glassine bag, it's all so soft and flimsy that it's all going to go down. And so you're going to have a hard time getting the imprint of the embossing. That makes sense?
But you could get some really cool crinkly stuff from the glassine.
Yes, yes, you could. And I love that grungy, crinkly stuff on the glassine.
Thank you, Dawn.
Paint here and there on the glassine bag. That's cool. So
one thing that might be helpful for people is when you're using thinner paper, you have to wait longer for it to dry.
Yes.
This is really thin Tomo River paper. It's designed for like writing, and it doesn't bleed through to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes for really nice pulls that are thin, so like you can work with them later. And notice they don't bleed through.
Right.
But you have to wait longer before you pull them up, because
yes.
it's wrinkling right here. If I wait until those wrinkles have gone away.
When it's wrinkled, or you put your hand on it and you can feel that cold wetness.
Exactly.
You know, it's not dry enough. And honestly, regular copy paper, you guys, you don't have to buy anything special. Just regular copy paper. But she's right. When you put it down, you can feel that it's cold. You can feel that it's wet. You feel the wrinkles there. The longer you let it sit, the better it will pull. If you start pulling it up and it starts tearing the layer of the paper off, then you want to let it sit. Let it sit longer. All right, let's see if we got those polka dots. Those foiled polka dots in black. Yes, we did. Cool. So this piece picked up a lot of the chevron. This piece of scrapbook paper is torn up in the corner, so it didn't pick up anything up there. Okay, but we've got those polka dots there. But I can tell that they're dry. It was thin enough to leave it, but now it's already dry. So that means I need to put something on it, some lighter color, so the black will show through. So we'll have some contrast. So how about some saffron? Let's try that. Looks like we're just about out of saffron. Now we're going to be mixing black and saffron.
Isn't that one of the colors you said you liked last night?
I love it. The Stamperia.
Saturday or whatever day we were on.
It was, yeah. Saturday. The Stamperia saffron is absolutely my favorite yellow that they have. It's so beautiful, and it just goes so well with so many others. Really is a good complementing color. Okay, so let's get that down. And get this guy down.
So my foil flowers and leaves were too sparsely on here. You can't really see that they're there a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of a ghost print.
Yeah, they
just cool for showing the layer. Yeah.
So I can do another. So what I might do is I might take this, and the reason I did the polka dots again is because I saw that they weren't going through. So I was like, well, I'll just do something with it. And then so what I might do is I might do this one again after I get a good foiling of another.
Yeah, and you can keep pulling over the top of prints until you get something you like. You also don't have to lay the whole thing down. If you like almost all of it, but there's a section that's just sparse, you can just put that section down. You can put another piece of paper over part of your gel plate to protect it. DM, that's going to be a really cool pull.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see that one. All right. So this had a lot of black underneath it, and we had the black polka dots. So this is going to pick up the black background, the black polka dots, and the saffron. And the polka dots really show up in the saffron nicely. They're kind of ghosty in the black part. That's okay. Love those little grungy pieces. They're great to tear up for collage. Okay, so let's see what we got off of this one. Same thing. There's a lot of black in the background. So we have the bumblebee mix. But where the saffron is, did pick up those polka dots really nicely. Just the gold foiled ones, which is cool. That is one long piece of paper, and it's going to tear right at the edge where there's crusty grungies. So I'm going to go do that from the other end, right there where that pink was. So that's cool. That'd be a good background or something. So you can do whatever color combinations you like.
Oh, this is going to be awesome. Can you see it?
Yes.
Oh, that is I like that.
That's going to be good.
I'm going to do it on top of this one because the white flowers didn't pull well.
Yeah.
So that copper over
cool.
there.
Yes.
Look really cool.
That will be awesome. All right. So if I have, let's see. I was looking for my.
Oh. I'm not pulling from this piece of paper anymore because I love the colors on it.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, when you get the scrapbook paper to where you love it, save it now. You'll use it.
Yeah, I will use it.
Because we wouldn't always think about sitting down and putting paint on our scrapbook paper.
No.
Just look at it and go, I'm probably not going to use that.
I love the way when you wipe them off, you get also the foil gets a little distressed.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool too.
Yep.
Yes, and this is still like some of the blue from before, the heather blue or whatever you call it, thistle blue, is still coming up with that dark burgundy that I put down.
I got way too much here, so.
Plus, I'm also rubbing my paper on the bottom.
Very cool.
Underneath it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this piece of paper.
Oops, I just had a wet wipe on that one, and now it's all wet. I'm going to put this on here so I can pull that. Now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah, that turned out great. Great.
Okay.
I think I've got enough to do a ghost print almost. Actually, I think I'm just going to leave it for the next one.
Yeah. I love leaving it for the next one, and then you get the one you put down plus a ghost of the other one in the back. Like 2-for-1 layers. Oh, yep, that turned out great, DM.
That's gorgeous.
Love that.
There's actually a ghost print from the one before, and I put it a different direction than this one, so you can sort of see.
Cool.
See it.
I like that print. What was the What color did you put down for the design?
The first one, the design, it was called soft black, but it's almost like more of a, it's got a red tone to it.
And then what'd you pull it with?
I pulled it with this, which is fawn.
Very cool. So like that black and tan combo, which is really nice.
It's neutral enough that it's not black and white. You know what I mean? It's
right.
It's
got color to it, but it's still really neutral, so you can use it for a lot of things.
Yep.
That is really pretty.
Thank you. Thank you, Dawn.
Yeah, you guys are getting some great prints. All right, so let's see.
That was my junky page. That's a junky
page.
page.
I did it wrong. I put that down intending to put my print on it, and I'm watching you guys, and I just slapped regular paper on it. That's okay.
That's a
You'll get a good background out of it.
Okay, it's the new background to start with.
Ooh, that'll look great with like black over it.
The black design. All right, so I'm going to do that again with that same copper, and this time not put the white paper on, but put my design paper on. This is really thin calligraphy paper, so I put it on here to pick this up because I've got a bunch of layers here now, but I'll just let that sit for a bit until I need to pull it up to brayer off so that it will have longer to dry and pull it up. Oh, I did it again. I had too much last time and I got too much this time. So I'm going to go all the way to the edge and just use multiple pieces of paper.
Let's see what this one does. They're framed. What colors do I want to do?
I don't have time to pull it up at all. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take this design here. It is all foiled.
How about blue violet? Ooh, this is too mucky. That's too.
And
maybe primary blue.
Let's do a little something for some texture there. Okay.
And some Payne's Gray.
Can't go wrong with Payne's Gray.
Nope. Love me some Payne's Gray.
Yep.
Oh, good color.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully we've got our foil transfer here. There we go. And now I think we will use, I think that's still too dark. I wanted shadow, but it's too dark. So maybe a light gray. Light gray. No, not going to work either. I don't have the right color. Okay, then let's switch and to go.
You know what? I agree, Sylvia.
What'd she say?
She says she'd love to have a clothespin line in her.
Yes.
Studio.
Yes.
I have plans for one already.
I have something I could use. It would just yeah. There's a way I could do it. I just have to set it up.
I'm gonna do a pulley system in mine. So
Yeah.
that
Oh, that's actually better.
Right above your head and then pull it to move it down.
Yep, that's exactly. Oh, that's a great
because
idea.
then I
was
can
gonna
walk under it.
Yeah.
It's how I did my bird feeders years ago to keep the bears out of them.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can pull them back to the house and keep them away from the bears.
Yep. I got a ladder and I stuck a pulley and up in a tree.
Yep.
And then I had two hooks, one for filling the feeders and one for when they're up, they were up and put away. we figured sacrificing a little of the squirrels was fine, but but the bears, they just steal the feeder and then you have to go looking for it later. I found them like 6 months later in the woods behind a tree where there was there was this little hollow there where they had been sitting and emptying them.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, they were expensive bird feeders. They were like $40 or $60 a piece.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Well, because they were metal, the squirrels couldn't chew them open. So,
right.
But the bears.
But the bears can.
Dawn Marie, I love that pattern. That's going to be so cool.
Oh, thank you. Cool. Yeah, it's almost like it's got little gritties on it. And I even like this, and I think it'll be able to be used without me trying to get too much of the
Yes, I like that too.
Stuff on it, because it's actually glitter rather than embossed, so it's really making a very different pull. I think it will make a very different pull. When we had my camp up in Maine, we had the clothesline, but that's what we put our dogs on. Was the clothesline.
Right.
Because then they could go back and forth, and you could, if you had to, and you didn't, it was raining or something, you could actually make them come back in by pulling the thing.
Tara has hooks in the doorway with a line ran across. That's awesome, Tara. That is awesome.
Well, this one's nice and subtle.
Oh, I like it.
Oh yeah.
Like it a lot. Okay, let's see that. My background might have been too dark for this. Really not.
All right, I'm going to try my white flowers again.
There we go. I can see exactly where I got too much paint and where I got just the right amount of paint.
I'm going to do a double.
There we go. You see the copper foil print?
Oh, yes.
It transferred really nicely. That did transfer really nicely, and I got some good grunge off the side there. Now, if the paper tears up like this, and so there's paper on my plate, rub that to get it off, because that's not going to pick up on your next plate. You'll just end up with a mess. So just rub that paper, and it comes right off. It's usually wet, which is why it separated anyway. To begin with, okay. So I really want to try these dandelions. They will be fun. Yeah. Let's see. We would like the dandelions maybe in yellow. Saffron. Let's see if we can get some saffron dandelions. Not going to go as far as green stems. Just all yellow. She says, oh, that's going to be cool.
Trying to figure out what to put as the background color.
Is that
should I just go weird and put red behind it, or should I put...
Is that kind of minty, or what color is that?
It's blue and mint.
Ah.
So it could be...
Yeah.
You know what? I have a darker teal here. Orange. I have a darker teal, which I think might look good too.
Could do an orange. Darker teal would be pretty too.
Or orange would look good. Because Dawn Marie likes weird colors. Oh, what's this color right here?
I hope these dandelions transfer well, because that would be fun. Oh, I've got one with some birds on it too. I need to, it's fun to just sit down and do this for a long period of time and just go through these papers, because you get some work better than others, and you get just a whole stack, a whole variety, of different types different types of designs on your prints. Some are like marks, some are like wallpaper patterns. I even have one that has some foil words.
I picked up one of my dots from me punching things the other day.
Awesome.
I added another layer to this one.
Oh, there's a hair on it. Oh, cool. I like it.
My edges are so crusty. I
Mine
want to just
too.
pull them right up.
Mine too. Well, you either pull them up with your fingers or you have to wait. When you're all done, give them a good coat, put paper over them, and let them sit overnight. And you will get a great pull in the morning. Okay, so I'm going to try.
Unique, not weird. Thank you, Dawn.
That's right. We're all weird. I mean, unique in our own way, right?
Right.
I'm going to try some coffee dyed paper, and I wish I could pull it straight up without any. I don't want to put a background color on it, which means I'll need to do a clear. Because I'm thinking that the yellow dandelions on the coffee dyed paper might be really cool. That's just subtle enough. But then I know this takes a little longer to dry, so as long as you plan for that.
All right.
Somebody needs to make just a clear acrylic paint that we could use to pull things. So then
They already do.
They do. It's
It's called acrylic medium.
Well, that's what I'm using, but I mean, like just this cheap acrylic paint that's clear. It'd be a lot less expensive than acrylic medium, right? Or is that just?
Well, yeah, just
multi-purpose
you buy.
Multi-purpose medium is what I have that you could use.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just call it medium because it's essentially the stuff in it that makes it paint, but there's no
Right.
paint at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I have some of this. This is iridescent medium.
Yeah. Oh, I have some of that too. This is just matte acrylic gel medium.
Yeah.
Oh, that stuff's nice because it'll
Didn't want
leave a
iridescent.
matte finish instead of a gloss.
Yep, exactly. I do have some iridescent that would be cool. And actually, it might be really cool on something like this with the sunflowers. Can you see the wrinkles in my plate right here? I don't know if they're visible. Yeah, you can see them on
Your
YouTube.
paper? Yes.
Yeah, see, that's what Jen was talking about. Those wrinkles.
As it dries, they do shrink back up into
Yes.
paper again.
Yep. You get all those wrinkles and you can feel it. It feels wet. You know, if I pull it up, it's going to start separating the paper. And it's not that your print didn't work. It's that it hasn't had time to dry. That's the hardest part for me because I'm impatient. I want to do it now, have it done and have it work right now.
You're like Veruca Salt.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, Daddy.
Yeah. Yes.
You need like 10 gel plates. So you can like cycle through them all.
Yep.
Let's not talk about it.
But I don't know where the second one.
I do have multiple gel plates.
I really love that paper. Now that it's coated and
now that it's coated, it looks really
yeah. And this one got the little blue things on it, and it still has the flowers in the background. So I sort of like that too because you could try to get some more of the blue. Some of the blue came off more than others, so I sort of like this too. Yeah, I'm liking my paper that I liked before, but I'm liking it even better now. So you start putting.
Now you can see yourself using it, where before you liked it but weren't sure.
Yes.
You know, because sometimes the shiny, glossy stuff just doesn't fit in. Ooh, the orange was good. Good call.
I like that.
That's cool, Jen.
I don't like the print though. It didn't do well. This foil is not as smooth as some of the other foil. So it doesn't
do anything else over it that will make it become a background layer.
Yeah, well, I'll just use what's there for. Ooh.
I know what I'm going to use this for.
Love that.
The squares are exactly the size of ATCs.
Are they?
Oh,
wow, that's cool. That is very cool. Will you talk about the mediums again and when to use it? Okay, so all it is, and any brand will work, it's an acrylic gel medium. And I have a matte, this is a Vicky Bouton, matte acrylic gel medium because not knowing exactly what colors and I was going to use, and I've got metallic paint. I didn't want it to be shiny. But I use that when what I want to pull up off of the plate is dry. So it needs something to pull it up. And so that's when you'd put another layer of paint down. If I want 2 layers, like on this, if you were pulling something like this from the beginning, you'd use your stencil and you put your first layer down, which is what you want to be on top. That's the dandelions. And then maybe I'd put a coat of yellow over it and then pull it. And then I would have the 2 colors. But I don't want any color behind it. I don't want a background color. I just want my design, my image to transfer. So I got the image on there in yellow. And so now I'm using the clear acrylic medium as the background instead of paint to pull it. Because I want to pull up those dandelions. I don't know if they're going to work. Oops, it's tearing. It does not have enough time to dry. Oh, it's getting all the prints from before it, though. I want to pull up the dandelions on this coffee dyed paper, and I didn't want another color as the background. So it did pull the design from before it. The dandelions, they don't really show up on that. So they may not on this one either. I was trying to get them in yellow on the coffee dyed paper without another color as background. So let's see if it's had enough time to dry. If it hasn't had enough time to dry, it is easier sometimes to peel the plate off of the paper or both together. Kind of a trick to get it off, but honestly, I should let it dry long enough. But if I'm not going to, then that's how I get it to come off. To release that paper. Okay. So I can see the dandelions. I'm kind of thinking that you probably can't very well. Dandelion, there's a dandelion, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. But you can see that print really well from earlier. Glynis did 2 with gauze paper and then 2 random.
That's cool.
Let's see.
Mucky mess, mucky mess.
Okay, so the first 2 are gauze paper. So if we get in really close, you can see the gauze texture on there. So she mixed multiple colors on her plate. She put the gauze paper on it, pressed it down, and now she's got the gauze texture. That's cool. I'll bet that one looks really neat in person. That one, this one is also gauze paper, so you can see the gauze texture, just different colors. And then the next 2 are the next 2 you said are random. Does that mean that did you use a paper to pull a design off with them? Something with texture or with foil or just random paint pulls? Either way is fine. All right, I want to get into a couple more. I'll continue to sit. So here is a paper. Oh, let me pull this one out. And this one out.
She was just playing.
Okay. So she's gone rogue. Not doing what we're doing. Okay. This one and this one. All right. So here's a piece of glitter paper but it's also like corrugate. It's got like the corrugate type lines. Don't think that they're going to show up very well, but that should give us some really good lines. This one has umbrellas on it, and every so often an umbrella is foiled. So we should be able to get those foiled umbrellas. And this one has foiled feathers that I hope to get.
Ooh, that one's going to be pretty.
Wallpaper like the one you did that I loved. So let's try some of these. Okay, so
oh, this is not going to work, but we'll see.
I want, let's see, some darker and some lighter. I'm gonna go with something real dark, blue navy. Why not with our blue paper? Oops, I had a big old crusty there that I forgot to take off. Okay. Get some blue navy down. And you guys probably know, but when you're spreading your paint on the gel plate, do not put your brayer down and then just roll it back and forth. That's not the best way to move the paint on your brayer. You do it kind of in a rolling upward motion, like up, like I'm doing it very exaggerated so that you can see, like that rocking boat at the amusement park that I hate, makes me sick.
Rock the boat, baby, rock the boat.
So even if I go really fast, I can still do that. So I lift it up here, I bring it back, and I lift it up here. But you can still do it very fast, and that you can hear it. You can hear it lift and go back down. Okay, let's get some of these. Should imprint pretty quickly.
Sarah, stencils are usually what we use. This is just us testing with something new.
Yep, this is just
we're all for the stencils.
We love the stencils. This is just a new Rogue RI. we use stencils a lot, but this is just a new technique, a different way to get some different prints. You're only going to have so many stencils, but you might have you might buy a whole pack of paper pad that you only really like one or two, and you got it for that. Then you got all the rest of them, and maybe they've all got foil or texture or whatever. Or you might buy one just for this because it has foil or texture or whatever.
You say buy a paper pack where you only like one or two. That's funny because I won't buy the paper pack if I only.
I know.
Like
I said that. I'm thinking, who does that? Yeah, no. It's more like we like most of them, and there's one or two that you don't use, and it's just sitting there. Like, what am I going to do with that? But if those one or two have foil, then you get some really cool pulls. Okay, so I put the blue down. I pressed in our design, our texture. And then I just put plain paper down to pull it up. So we should get a really clean print here. There's our line. So, yep, there's our corrugate paper. That looks cool. Let's see how this one does. And this could be a background itself. You could do it again and put more layers of things on top. But I figured it was going to pick up some other things from behind it, which it did. But that's cool. That's a really nice.
That's a great background.
It probably wouldn't even be that clean if I used a stencil. So, All right. So I want to try this one. And then those stripes. I know that those will work. Let's see. How about let's just use this copper because it sounds like it's getting low. Maybe we can use it up. Whoop. Sylvia, how's your gel plate doing? Are you having fun? Doesn't even matter what you get as long as you're having fun. That's all that matters.
If you're impatient to let it dry, you can use your dryer, but don't heat up your gel plate.
Yes. Yes. Some people say just never use a dryer. I have used a dryer. If you have the cool setting on the dryer, like your hair dryer, or you push the cool button,
or you have a little handheld fan too, because I know I was using that last time.
That works. Do not use, your commercial grade heat gun. You don't want that kind of heat. What you really want is something that gets the air movement to help dry that up, but you don't want to add heat to it. Heat melts the paint anyway. What may not make it dry so fast, but it can warp your gel plate.
So this has, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
So this is 3 layers. It's the foil, which is the purple.
Yep.
Second layer was some neon paints I'm trying to use up because I can't see any neon paint. And I used corn husk to pull up that.
Cool, which gave you some really cool texture.
And then, I don't know if you can see the sheen, is the back layer is the acrylic medium that you were talking about.
So you use iridescent.
Yeah.
I like that. That gives a really cool sheen, iridescent sheen to the corn husk textures. Oh, gonna love this one. Gonna love this one. Okay, I am gonna let this one.
Oh my goodness.
This is gonna be so cool.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. So let me just help it dry a bit here. I think I want to put a light black behind it and pull that copper up. That will look like an old wallpaper. A light black could be a black and white mixed. Let's see if I can pull this.
I used what in mine is called graphite.
Yeah, I don't have one out. I should have looked exactly what I pulled out. I grabbed a couple handfuls, but so I've been letting this one sit for a while, and look how it's pulling the edges off, which were total crusties, layers and layers, not just from today. And I'm pulling it off fast, and it's still pulling everything off. But I love that. It's many, many layers and lots of crusties. Look how clean the gel plate is after just letting it sit for a while. The longer you let it sit, the more it'll pull off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is use this little one as a palette and mix some black and white. Make a little bit lighter white, lighter white. Make a little bit lighter black to put over this one. I do have milk white.
Is that like a creamy white or something?
So yeah, it's a little bit creamier than the white.
You could also try putting some silver in with the black, and it will lighten it, but it won't.
Because I don't want any metallic, any sheen at all on the back.
Oh, okay.
Because I've got copper on the design.
Right.
I don't know if you saw me do that one. So we'll just mix that up and see if we can get a little bit lighter.
Oh, you have your Stamperia paints from when we did our box. That's a creamy color.
Yeah, that gold sand.
Yeah.
That would work too. With the lighten up the black. I do have a dark gray. I probably could have used that, but it still looked too dark, so I don't know. Graphite would have been a good one. I just don't have. I bring too many out, and then I can't decide what to use. So I quit bringing all paints out. Okay, so let's take this, our mixture of black and white.
The heart's in the way. I can't read right now. We didn't take the heart off.
Is that what I was?
I'm sorry. Okay, give me a minute and I can go in and do that.
That's okay.
I did totally forget. It was late last night and I was super tired.
Don't forget thumbs up, people.
Oh,
in fact, if you're getting a little bored, all you have to do, or you think you might be, you think that your thing may be stopped because nobody's said anything in a while on live chat.
It's because people are trying using their gel plates and Those who are using their gel plates can't chat while they're doing it.
True.
Your fingers get all painty. Okay. So I'm going to press down that
I
one.
like this better with that silver on top of it too.
And
that's going to be the last time I can use that one.
That one. Okay. Let's get this down really well. And then I'll go in and get that heart off the thing while. Okay, let me do that. I'm going to have
failure, but that's okay.
Let's not talk for one moment because I'm going to have to open YouTube and we don't want to get that big old feedback.
Oh, you can still see it.
Okay, is it gone?
Looks like
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You are welcome. Tara, we know you've got your grandson. We're just so glad you're able to even watch. Sylvia's ready to clean up. New meds. Feeling like I need a roller to roll over me. Sylvia, I kind of feel like that too. It's probably because I stayed up too late last night. I feel like I could use a little nap. And that's okay. We only have to do this. You only have to do this as long as you want. You know? No rules, just right.
Ooh, that came out fast.
Ooh-wee. Look at that little section I got on the black up here. Little extra section I pulled off there. Can't wait to see this one. Oh, I can tell that the paint was a little bit thicker up there. Got a better print. Where the paint was thinner, the print is great, but you just can't see it as well because the black paint is sparser. So it looks pixelated.
The other thing is sometimes some paints might be not as like this pink that I'm using right here is a very sheer paint.
Yes. Yeah, the sheer is not going to give you the coverage to see a design on it as much.
Right.
Well, that turned out really cool. I like this.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Very cool. Okay, so let's do, since we've got these colors on the plate, let's do a couple more things with these colors. So I've got this piece of paper that has these big old foil diagonal stripes on it. And I just don't know what I would use that for. So I would use it for this. That's what I would use it for. So here's the paper I'm going to use. Pretty colors, but with those foil stripes, whew,
a little much.
A little much for me.
Plus, if you use that and you put something good over it, it actually probably look better than the those colors because that's very Christmassy, and you could put another color over it and make it more.
It didn't come from a Christmas paper pack, but
it didn't.
No, it's just pink and green. Oh, what color did it show up as? Maybe it looked like Christmas colors. It was pink and green with the gold foil, but yeah, it's a little bit. The pink and green are really bright colors, and then the gold foil is really bright as well. So, okay, so let's see. We should get a really good foil print here. There we go. It's on the plate. You can see it. Awesome. Okay, give that just a minute to complete drying. Well, it's almost dry anyway. And I really liked that black that we put behind, but I'm just going to use this one called Shadow instead of mixing the black and white. Let's see how this color, it's more of a gray than pure black. Might not. I might have wished I used the black. I could mix a little black in with it. Make it a little bit darker even, but it might work. Let's see. All right. That one. And what is this? Nope, I'm not, because I don't want to ruin that. I'll use this. This is calligraphy paper. It's a much lighter, thinner, terrible paper. Terrible. Not terrible.
Tear it.
Yeah. Able to be
Easier
torn.
to tear.
Able to be torn. Easier to tear. Okay. I've been putting much paint in the corners, and I probably should. Although, if I put it in the corners and the edges, and I need to let it sit so it can really pull those up. Well, that's what we got on that calligraphy paper. Very thin paper. Copper stripes on the black. All right. This one should be big and bold. Let's hope it is. Actually, it might be really cool with gold stripes on the black. The copper's a little more subtle, but I think I like that. Copper against the black is a little more subtle than the gold against the black. It's not so in your face metallic. Yes, I do like that. And I could even pull another print over it that has something round. Oopsie, tore that too far. Here we go. So copper foil or copper metallic paint on black. Okay, that'll be a good background. So let's see if we can get these umbrellas and these feathers. They will be cool.
Oh, the feathers will be awesome.
Yeah. And so if you get a pole that you really like, let it completely dry, and then you could copy it. You could make yourself prints of it. Use it over and over. Then you probably won't feel bad throwing away that one piece of scrapbook paper that you were never using, that you used once for this. But if you make multiple copies of like that, then okay, I'm gonna try. Let's see, what color do you want to do umbrellas? Just how about gold with a red behind it?
That would be pretty.
Or red with a gold behind it.
Red, yes, red with the gold behind it would be pretty.
Little red umbrellas.
Yeah.
Little red Corvette.
Let's do, yeah, because not all the umbrellas, I wish even a few more of the umbrellas were glittered, but not all of them are. That's okay. We should get enough to make an interesting piece of paper. All right, we'll get us some red umbrellas and put some gold down to pick it up. So, Glennis, are you still playing, or have you tried this actual technique? All right.
Hi, Sheila.
Hey, Sheila.
Hi, Sheila.
Okay, so I'm putting down the umbrellas. It has a few glittered umbrellas.
Glennis says la 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 la. She probably has her fingers in her ears too.
She hasn't tried the technique. If any of you have tried the technique, send us pictures. We'd like to show what your results were using the technique that we're playing with today. Good to see you, Sheila. Oh, and school's out today, right? It's for President's Day.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Sheila's another one who would like to kidnap away from school to bring to retreat.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, if you've been thinking about retreat, send me a message so we can talk, answer your questions. We have 2 spots left. 2 spots available. And we need 2 more fun people to join us. I don't know if I put too much paint. We'll see. I think I might have put too much paint. Yeah. Or maybe it just didn't transfer where the glitter is really well.
Sylvia, go lay down, feel better.
Yes.
Yes.
Glad you were here even a little bit, Sylvia. Oh, Mary's here. Hi, Mary.
Hey, Mary.
We're trying a new technique on the gel plate. And it works better with some papers than others, but sometimes you get scrapbook papers that you're just finding yourself not using. Maybe it's because they have foil on them. For me, that's a lot of times. They have foil. They're beautiful, but I just don't know how to use them, or they don't work in with the things that I'm making. It's slacking, I see. Glynis has only done 10. And so this is a way to transfer the foil images or the embossed images. Okay, I pulled that on white without putting anything down as the background. And you can see some of the umbrellas, but they look like mushrooms.
Oops.
I love that even better. Look at that. They look like mushrooms. That's even better than umbrellas.
Excellent then.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather have mushrooms than umbrellas. So I'm going to put some gold down here.
I'm using old gloppy paint.
Yeah. Trying to use up old paint that's half full so I can throw those bottles out. Cheap paint. None of us are using any expensive paint. Cheap as in inexpensive. I've got a lot of Stamperia paint sitting here. Deco Art, Apple Cart, Apple Barrel. What else have you got? Americana
Mostly.
There's a Craft Smart. This is like
Craft Smart. Yep.
Runny. It's not great paint. I don't even like it for this. It's just too runny for this process.
Oh, well, yeah. Runny means you need to mix it with something else, another color, or let it sit longer to dry. Right?
Yeah, I think that's what happened my last time. I need to let it sit.
But I don't mind because I'm going to try out using this lace as a texture. So I need to have a little bit more drying time. I think it's also that the paint itself is just, it was sitting too long and it cured partially. So it's got these little weird gloppies in it.
Sylvia posted pictures according to Glennis.
Yes, she did. She got some really nice pulls.
Did I miss it? Did you show them?
No, she didn't show them. She just, she was talking, so I didn't say anything.
Oh.
All right, let's see. Ooh, that is really pretty. I'm going to take the screens and show you Sylvia's.
Oh, I like that. Very pretty.
Yeah, there's a good, this had to be from an embossed piece of paper. Look at this.
Yeah.
A really good transfer. That's cool. It's real hard for the camera to focus on.
Hi, Cheryl.
She got her peacock color. Oh, check this one out.
Oh, I like that.
That looks like wallpaper. That's awesome. Wallpaper makes great textures. Ooh, look at that one. I recognize that paper. It had bumps.
Yep.
bumps on it. That came from one of those handmade cotton packs. Oh, there we go. A couple more cool pulls. That orange one looks really cool, and I love the grunge on the bottom.
I love that maroon brown with that bright blue. That is a great combination of color.
Yes, very much so. Okay, this is still very wet, but let's see. So basically, we're taking texture off of other things today, specifically scrapbook paper, because that's not something we've ever done before. I love the texture that it gave me on here. You can't see a lot of the umbrellas. I do see some, and they still look like mushrooms to me. But the red and the gold made a really cool orange.
Oh, yeah.
That orange with the grungy black really nicely. So you can also, let's see here, get this gold spread around a bit. Add a little bit more red to it. So we've got some red and some gold. Not necessarily a mark making session. That's something else that we've done and we'll do. There's so many different techniques that you just can't fit them all into each time we're doing something. So we try to focus on one or two things so that if you've not done it before, you can really get the concept down to be able to do it. So if we're using scrapbook paper to make marks, essentially leave us a design in marks, something like this, that a package, packing material is also, because it's large, it's almost like, one of those scrapbook pieces of paper and just transferring the design. So if I go like this, it's hard to hold it all down and get all the way across. But you can use this. I don't want to stretch it completely out because I like it sometimes when it's really close together. But you can use these kinds of things to make marks in here, like transferring like your scrapbook paper. We use a lot of things to make small marks here and there. Okay, that was too hard on the big plate because I can't hold it all down. So it works way better on a small plate where you can just get that one little section. But it'll give us some cool marks, different than any of the other we've got. Let's see what kind of marks. And it may be, sometimes the marks you get are something you just want to build on. It's not your final product at all. Let's see, where could we put? Let's put some of those marks over this yellow. Let's see what that looks like. What do yellow and red make?
Orange.
We might get a really cool orange on this coffee dye paper.
I am using something that I got out of a box to just make some squares up here because the paper I'm going to use doesn't have anything interest up here. So I just grabbed this to get some interest up there.
Cool.
And I'm going to grab these, which looks sort of like dragons.
Cool.
Put that up there.
Hi, Cheryl. Good to see you. Oh, that's cool. So I only did this little tiny section of the red marks on the yellow. I like that.
Oh, I like that.
I should have turned it around and done it on this side so it didn't completely cover that good design we got underneath it. But these look like, when I get really close to these, they look like steampunk gears.
They
I was
do.
going to say that.
That's not at all what the paper looked like. And I really like those a lot more than the paper. Okay, so this is just on plain paper, pulling up that red, getting some great marks, which is, and so we've got a little bit of gold and a little bit of red, even pulled some black from previous. And you can see some things still there. So as we continue and do other layers, we'll get this up with other things. So let's see here about what I might want to pull that with. Let's see here. Behind the red, let's see. I don't want green. I don't want to look like Christmas. Thought about yellow, but they might just mix together and look like orange too much. How about a really dark green? Petroleum green or avocado, something really dark that doesn't look like Christmas. Don't want Christmas green. Let's try this avocado. Yeah, it almost looks, this avocado almost looks like army green. So then the pulls that we have, if we want a little more interest, you can put a stencil on them and do a little ink through them or spray through them. Or you can bring the print back here and put a stencil down here and then pick up the stencil imprint, or even just on parts and pieces. So if most of the print got something really good and part of the print just didn't pick it up, you can come over here and just use a section of the paper. All right.
It's just plain old grunge.
Oh, I like it though. No, I can see design. 2 or 3 different ones that have layered on your plate. That's cool. I like that a lot.
So that little, really thin paper, sometimes when the plate is a little too wet, when it wrinkles, it's left these really cool marks along the edge.
Yes.
My paper is just not super successful. I did like this pattern though. This pattern worked well.
Maybe you need to go to a cheaper copy paper than that.
Oh no, the foil paper is not leaving
the foil paper.
Stuff on. Yeah.
Okay.
Not leaving enough on there. I'm gonna try
any embossed or.
I do, but my embossed paper, I really like my embossed paper.
Oh,
I'm kind of like afraid to use it. Although I do like some of my rolling off papers, like this one.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So maybe if I can get a, I wonder if I could just use a stencil and put some,
add what you want.
Add what I want to that and see what I can get.
Okay, that avocado green is really dark green. And it really looks like army green.
Mm-hmm.
It is really cool. I love those colors together, more so than I would have thought.
The green and the red.
Well, with the grungy bits of yellow in it.
Yeah. And see, it didn't have time to dry, and now my paper's tearing, and I'm hurrying because we want to move on. But yeah, I do too. Some black and some red. I can see a little bit of blue and a little bit of copper, and yeah, and my paper tore. Again, if your paper tears, that means it's not been left sit there long enough to dry. Paper's not dry. And that is hard to do when we're doing live and we're trying to hurry through to show other things. But now I'll take this and I might put a stencil. Oh, I can see a little bit of pattern behind it. Look, there's umbrellas. I can see a couple umbrellas right there with the line.
That's so
And then
cool.
you can see the marks from that packing stuff, but I might take a stencil and put it down and then use this to go in between the stencil and just pick up a little of something. Something. Same thing with this one. Can use more layers. Let's see. We've got here. Could do some more on this yellow. I do like this up here, and I like how we got that little print really nicely on that extra page. These are really cool. Little pieces. I love this pull off of the small gel plate just to clean it up. There are so many layers on there, and it got the whole thing up. Oh, gotta try the feathers. All right, I gotta try the feathers. This one pulled rather nicely. This one pulled rather nicely. I do like this as a wallpaper. There's 3 different ones on that one. This one. This one of the corrugate pulled nicely. I do like this one a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, the copper, the metallic paint shining through just like a beige.
Yeah.
Cool pattern. Oh, here's one that I could do some more over. I could pull another one with it. You can pull another one with this one too. Here's, okay, here's a couple more backgrounds. There's our polka dots. The saffron. Oh, I like the way that one pulled too. Cool, very subtle in the background. There's our chevron, black chevron with pink. All right. I'm going through these trying to pull out the ones that are really good backgrounds that I can do another one on top of it. This one is one of my favorites, and I don't know if it shows, but the cool metallic flower. Maybe if I get it in a better angle. Where's the part that, like right here might show. It's got the metallic flowers that are just so subtle behind the blue. I don't know if they even show up, but it turned out real cool from this flower embossed piece of paper. Okay, so there's some backgrounds I can add too. There's some more. Good. Okay. Some good background. Wow, I know it's just a background, but I really like the grunge of that. Should I not ruin it by putting another print on it? I don't know.
Sometimes you have to walk away.
At least for today, and then come back and look at it to see if you really want to.
That's right.
Another layer. Okay, so these all could use another layer on top of them. Where are our feathers? Let's try our feathers. And, oh, I got a zebra print over here. Oh, the birds. We got to try the birds. Let me show you another. Let's see. Where's one of those? Okay. So this is not foiled, but you can see that the design in it is, what they call it, it's almost like embossing powder, embossing glaze kind of thing. And that will resist. The paper behind it will pick it up just like the foil would. So we can try that one. And this one is embossed. There's a tiny bit of sparkle, like glitter in those stars, but the stars are embossed. I can feel them raised. So that will work. And then I wanted to try something like this. The whole page looks shiny, but actually it's all the flowers that are embossed shiny. So, but it might be too busy to pick up. And then this one as well. We should be able to pick up the caterpillar, the worms, the flowers. But they take up a lot of the page, but we still should be able to get a lot of it. So those are some I'd like to try. Here, let's do this feather first. I've been talking about the feathers. I really want to try those. So let's put feathers down in red. Red feathers. Okay, so we'll take our foiled feathers.
Fine, furry, feathered, furry.
I was just saying, our fine feathered friends, the foiled feathers. Press that down gently. Our point in pressing it down is just making sure that every part of the paper makes contact. So the paper can pick up the paint, and where it's foiled, it will resist the paint. It should resist the paint. Oh, maybe I had too much paint on it again, or maybe I just didn't leave it down long enough. I'm going to wipe this off with a baby wipe.
I wonder if it's because red is one of the slowest drying paint colors.
Yes.
That's a good point.
And it's usually sheer, too.
It keeps happening on the red, so I hadn't even thought about that. I am going to do this, and
the same holds true for oil paint.
Really? And I don't know that much about the properties of them, so I'm going to add a little bit of this yellow to it. It'll be a really cool orange. And it is really nice and thin. And I took a baby wipe and just pretty much wiped over the top of the feathers. So we should be able to use it again. If you don't want to use it again, just throw it away or use it as is with the paint on it. If you do want to use it over again to do more prints, just fairly quickly after you use it, wipe paint off with a baby wipe. Okay. Ah, better feathers. Yes, indeed. Now, I do need to let that one dry, don't I? Put something else behind it. Yep, I can clearly see the feather imprints. That's going to be very cool. But I do want to let that red dry and then put a background on it to pick it up. It's not wet enough that it'll pick up on something, but it's not dry enough that I can add a background yet. But it was really thin. Adding that yellow, I hope we get a little bit of 3 colors in there on the feathers. Okay, I am going to give it a dark gray background. And DM, your guy that rides up and down your driveway on his motorcycle or dirt bike.
Yeah, and I've got the window open too.
No. He came to my neighborhood.
Oh, he came to your neighborhood.
Yep, he's outside right now.
Oh, wonderful.
Only heard a tiny bit of it.
Yeah, it just made me think of you. I haven't heard him at all on yours, so just on mine. It just made me think of that.
So it's 4 o'clock. I'm waiting for somebody to pick up a dog, so I may need to run, but I just had to text her, just so you know.
All right.
She
It's
knows
been 2
I'm
hours
alive.
already? No way.
I know.
Yeah.
Where did the time go?
I know. Monday Jumpstart time flies so fast for me, always. All right. I really want a good print with these feathers, and I'll try a couple more sheets, and then we'll call it.
That one's cool.
Ooh, yeah. I like
Hold up
it.
some of the runs on the thing. It's almost like reminds me of one of Timmy's, like, you know, when he does like the patterns and then the letters and stuff like that. His grungy layers.
Yes. Okay. Damn, that one's going to look really cool.
Yeah, I did it with like a cream color. Now I have to decide what to put behind it. I think I might put this dark purple.
Ooh, really?
Or blue violet might be pretty too.
Oh, yeah.
Or even one of your
that one's too loose.
oranges.
That's way too loose.
Oh, look at these grungy flowers. I was going to pull it. Not flowers, feathers. Grungy feathers. Flowers.
Grungy feathers,
Really?
honestly, makes me happy.
Grungy everything makes us happy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you want some more grungy feathers? Maybe I didn't. I tried to go really light on the paint, and I might have gone too light, that there wasn't enough paint to fill out the feathers. It's going to be a very subtle, in the background, feathers. I know. Can you see some?
I like this one better with the cream over it. Once again.
Okay, let's try this one. Let's do a lighter blue.
Is she here? I hear barking.
I always let you know. This is a powder blue Stangeria paint.
Oh, snuggle dog.
Okay, and I'm going to do this great big flower pattern. A really pretty piece of paper.
On the camera, it looked like the whole thing was shiny.
It does, because there's so very little paper in between it. That's why I'm questioning how well it will work.
Wasn't her. They're just barking to bark.
Oh, they're just practicing. Warming up. Warming up the vocal cords. Yeah, there might not be enough paper in between it to pick up enough paint to see it, but I wanted to try it.
I'm going to try something.
I can see that the paint stuck to a lot of the flowers, which is odd. It shouldn't necessarily do that. Not very sticky. I better let it dry, because it's not sticky enough. I'd like to try this one. Let's see. We'll go
Good.
with this gold sand. Gold sand is great with powder blue. 2 of the 3 colors that everybody used on their shadow boxes on the weekend workshop. Gold sand, powder blue, and cookie, which is over there somewhere on the other side of mine.
Oh, This one's dead.
Uh-oh.
You hear it? It's shuffling back and forth.
Oh, don't you hate that? Oops, I squeezed out way too much black paint.
Spray her off, quick.
It's not on the gel plate, it's on my silicone mat. Still, I'm going to have to use the paint.
Not sure that this is going to give us anything that we really like, but it was worth a try. It's always worth a try. Just the playing around is always worth the try. You never know what you come up with. Besides, even if it's just grungy, cut it up. And if it's too thin, glue it onto some other cardstock. And they're great to make ATCs out of. They're great ATC backgrounds, just different colors.
Looks like another bottle bit the dust.
Yay.
Well, no, because it's half full.
Oh, I thought you emptied another one.
No, it.
Oh, sorry. Well, that's interesting. You can't really see the flowers, but there is some incredible texture. Really great texture on there.
Yeah.
I can see some of the flowers, probably only because I know that they're there. But the texture's awesome. Awesome sauce. Okay, let's try this one. Let's do a gold metallic. All right, get a gold metallic at that point. And what should we pick it up with? Black would be pretty with that gold metallic. I got too much gold metallic. It's always, if I don't think about what paint I'm using, because some paints are always thinner than others, some colors, and some always spread farther than others. And so if I do the same amount of each paint,
it doesn't necessarily work.
It doesn't work. Yeah. Some of them you need a little bit more. Some of them you need a little bit less. And
I don't remember what it is in red paint that makes it dry so much slower, but my mom could tell me if I asked.
Sure. I probably won't remember if you tell me. So
the only thing I remember about red paint is it's usually a lot less dense too, because it doesn't have as much
more transparent, isn't it?
It's one of the transparent colors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And every time we go out painting, she reminds me which ones are transparent, which ones aren't, and I can never remember.
Yeah,
because I don't do it enough.
I'm with you. That's why you got her around.
Hey, your silicone mat doesn't do a bad job with printing either.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Oh, there's another hair in the gel plate.
Texture!
DNA in all my art. Okay, I really want this one to turn out. Yeah. I like the way that looks on the paper.
Cool.
Sylvia's asking if you're using glossy paper. Jen.
Glossy paper? No glossy paper.
Does the tunnel kind of look glossy?
No, it has it. I don't even know how to explain it. Hold on.
Does it have a sheen to it?
It has no sheen to it.
Just the angle that she got it at.
And it just, yeah. Well, and one of the pages, well, yes, I was doing the glossy paper like you were doing if you're talking about the foil and stuff, but my foil paper, it's not, there's only one page that's actually leaving good imprints. So I just kind of switched over to mark making.
But the
So I got
paper picking it up with, I think, is what she's asking about.
Yeah, she says it's the sunlight.
Sunlight, yes. The sun will be gone in about 15 minutes. We only get about an hour's worth in this room. Lots of light, just not direct sunlight.
Right.
All right, that's going to have to get washed. And oh my goodness, my hands.
Yeah, yeah. To be expected when you do paint stuff.
Yes.
That's why I waited to take my shower for after this, because I'm going to be covered.
I don't really worry about the acrylic paint because it's water-based and comes off easily with water. But I need to remember to wear gloves or finger cots or something when I do alcohol inks, because I am always covered in alcohol ink. Okay, so...
Yeah, but that Dawn spray, power spray, it's probably not good for your skin, but it sure takes off alcohol ink.
It helped, but it didn't take it off completely. But it did help. I love that stuff. It seems to work on everything.
Yep.
My handmade soap does a nice job on all of my media stuff.
Even alcohol ink?
Yep.
Wow.
It's not perfect, but it does a really pretty good job.
Took the one he liked the least. Oh, Glennis doodled on the one that she liked the least. That's good. I like that paper now that it's got paint on it, DM.
I know. And I'm taking bits of it off.
Yeah.
Because it was, I can't even remember what color it was, but I sort of did the white.
Now you look at it now, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I sort of did the white on purpose to cover up what color
was toned it down, and now it's got some grunge. And it's very cool.
Actually, all of my papers that I used came out really cool.
Oh, it's Monday. I need to give you week 4 prompts. And I didn't print them out. And
do you know what they are off the top of your head? Say them, and then we can all go and look at the Facebook.
I just need to find my book that they're written down.
You can type them at the bottom. Type them at the bottom and have them run across.
Let's do this. Okay. There's the book. They're in the book. They're in the Monday Jumpstart book.
Just stopped for gas. We'll be there in 20 minutes.
Awesome. Okay, so here, I'll do a banner across the bottom for you with week 4 index card prompts. Let's see. Let's edit that one. All right, week 4, hashtag, what are we in, February? FEB, the HPP, FEB, INDEX, week 4, hashtag HPP, FEB, INDEX, challenge, prompts. Here's 5, and you know you only have to pick 3 of them. And you got till this Sunday to get them all done and post. I'm gonna slice that one. You can do it either way. I'm going to throw something in there that makes you think. Those are always the coolest ones.
Well, I still have to do my raindrop one, put it up on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Hashtag HPPFEBINDEX challenge prompts for week 4 are wildflowers, polka dots or graphic dots, sapling, bubble, and winter. You may pick any 3 of the 5. Love that, DM. That turned out great.
Thank you.
Pick any 3 of the 5, and this is week 4. So if you're missing any from week 1, 2, or 3, this is the week to catch up, get them all done, post them in the group, and by this Sunday, which is what is it? I don't know. I want to say the 27th, 28th,
something like that.
That this coming Sunday, I will be looking for one post that shows all 12 of your cards, your index cards laid out. That one photo, and please do not forget, because I'll pull them by the hashtags, do not forget to put hashtag HPPFEBINDEX on especially that picture, because that's the one I pull for the drawing, and I don't want you to miss out on the drawing. Oh my gosh, I love this.
Oh my gosh, it reminds me of like vintage wallpaper that's been aging in the house.
Powder blue, very light here and there that I picked up. And here's the big one of that. And I think I hope this one pulls like that little side piece did. If so, it might be my favorite print of the day. I love how it grabs some of those leftover colors.
Yeah.
From pulls for it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love that. That might be my favorite of the day. The gold on black wallpaper that looks very distressed. Oh, that would be a cool wallpaper in the back of a shadow box.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool, DM.
Yeah, I just pulled I put some more of that shiny that I had down, which was actually a mix of, what was it?
Thanks, Sue.
Graphite, maybe, or it was with burnt sienna, and it was really sheer, so I figured it would take off some of the stuff that was already there.
Yeah.
But I did it over this, so it would pull some of the grunge. I like it. Make it a little grungier.
I like it a lot. Looks very cool.
I really, really, really want to do these 3 things together at once. So, because you guys are here and you stuck to the end, I'm going to give you a little leg up on something. How about that? Are you sure? I'm sure. Because Sunday is the last day to post your index cards. That means that's the end of the month. And so the very next day on Monday at Jumpstart, we will draw for winners for the month. But that means we're starting a new month. So we're going to have a new challenge for the month of March. Excellent. March is National Craft Month. Right? Did y'all know that? I know you guys knew that, but y'all in chat, did you know that March is National Craft Month? So our goal is going to be to get some crafty time every single day in National Craft Month. So that means the challenge might include something daily, every day. However, if you don't have time one day, you can do another day, and it won't be anything as big or complicated as a whole index card or anything. It'll be something that will give you a whole lot of leeway on how you want to do it. So the challenge is to build a chair like Jen did in her shadow box.
Kathy knew. Kathy Lake knew that it's National Craft Month because it is every year. March is National Craft Month. April is HPP birthday month. Like that, Jen, a lot. That's why it looks glossy because the sun's shining on it. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to block the sun.
It is Happy Paper People birthday month. So be aware of that. Keep that in mind because, admin will be planning something special. We've done a variety of things for birthday month, including having like an all-day live where we did all kinds of things, played, had some giveaways, did some games, things like that. Let me look and see what actual date. HPP's actual birthday is on a Thursday. There's 31 days in March. Let's see. Well, I know there is because my sister's birthday is the 31st. However, let's see if that becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's perfect that, there is. Oh, she's talking about for the challenge and every day. So you're not going to get the actual challenge until the 4th nope, that's not true. That's not true. You will get it on the 26th. It's the 26th of February, next Monday, that we will do this coming Monday, a week from today, that we will do the drawing for February, and we will release the challenge for March. So only being the 26th day of February, you'll actually have 3 or 4 days until March starts that can give you a jump on getting ready. So, yeah, so then there will be 31 days to do it. And, every other group we're in, they do these challenges and they're just for fun. They're just to give us, something craft so we don't always have to think of what we want to do. But here at HPP, we like to give stuff away. We like to share stuff with our friends. So of course, each month on these challenges, there's going to be giveaways with them. So I know we don't have to, and a lot of you have told me that we don't have to do that because most groups don't do giveaways. They just have the challenge for the fun. And we like that too, but we also like sharing stuff. Maybe we'll do a giveaway where you get a whole pack of gel prints from admin all mixed up, some from everybody.
That would be cool.
Yeah. A lot of different people's gel prints to play with. That would be really fun. Sue, save us. Sylvia, it's an easy one. You can do it. Every day is going to be tough for me. Would preforming count us as crafty? Yeah. And Tara, and that's why I'm giving you kind of a heads up. And next Monday, you'll get the actual challenge. And that will give you 4 days until March starts. And like I said, you can get a jump on that. And there will be times where we won't have time to do something every single day. I'm going to try to, and I know that is going to be really tough for me to get in every day, just with what I've got going on with the business and family. So maybe on a weekend, you get to sit down on a Saturday or Sunday and you get to do 3 or 4. Awesome, Susan. Go ahead and shoot me pictures of that. And I'll get them into the Facebook group for you so everybody can see your awesome job. But you can do, if you sit down today and you're not going to have time for the next couple of days, you can sit down today and do 2 or 3 of them. And you will be able to whip out 2 or 3 of them. Yes, you can things because we
not doing it today.
We have not issued the 100-day challenge. I don't know. Is that just kind of a general thing that everybody jumps in if they want to? Or is it specific? It's not a specific group that has issued that challenge. It's just a general craft thing, and some groups are jumping on it. Some people are jumping on it.
Right.
So, doing the 100-day challenge, Sheila's already doing something every day. So yeah, weekends are out. That's time with hubby and what he wants to do. Yep. And Tara, my hubby's only home 2 days out of the week. So same thing. So on the days that he's gone, I will do a couple extras to take care of the weekend when he's here. February 18th to March 18th. Anything you want. Oh, cool. Well, that's not 100 days though, right?
No. 100 days would be over 3 months.
Yeah. I might have missed one of her messages. So ours is a monthly challenge. And so March being National Craft Month, we'll do something that'll be every day. February, March, to May 18th, maybe is the 100 days. Yeah. So you will be able to combine something that you made for your 100-day personal challenge and combine that with the National Craft Month HPP challenge, daily challenge. We didn't do a daily in January or February. March will be fun because it's National Craft Month. We won't do it daily in April either because we're going to have some fun with birthday month, but we still need to make some final decisions about what we're going to do for birthday month. We want it to be fun and to include everybody, for you all to be active and involved in it, and just have some fun celebrating the amazing people that you are.
Yes,
we've been talking about how wonderful HPP is, and even at the weekend workshop, we were talking about how amazing everybody is in this group. And that's you guys. Goes right from admin all the way across the board to everybody who's here, to everybody who joins. People who are not amazing like you guys, they weed themselves out because they don't fit. Right?
Yep.
Do a video each day. Oh my goodness.
That's
wow. That is a lot. That is a lot of video a day. All right, I think we're going to call it. We had a really good day. We can post some pictures of the gel prints that we got. And those who did it at home, post pictures of yours. Let's see that final one.
Cool.
Oh, I love the color. Yeah.
I did it with the three different types of fabric.
I saw that.
Made an X.
Lay those down and got some really good marks and grunge. Oh yeah. That looks cool. That looks cool. All right, we'll take some pictures of the ones that we got and post them in the group. There you go, your complete plate. Cool. And I'm going to post Sue's.
I like that one.
You guys watch in the group for Sue's shadow box, and all the comments that you leave for her, I will pass on to her by text. You'll see her here. She's just not on Facebook. So I will be posting her shadow box for you to see. So that will be awesome. You guys have the rest of a great day. And don't forget your index cards. It is week 4. And we will see you where? We'll see you in the group. And then keep an eye out for anything else that might be later this week. Okay?
Excellent.
Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us.
See you guys. Have a nice day.
With me.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. I enjoy it. Bye, guys.